Welcome to everybody watching the stream for the opening race of 4Power Live 2024 here at Brands Hatch on the Indy circuit. It is the Hagerty Radical SR1s that are going to kick off our action today. He says reaching for the paperwork, gone somewhere else then, such is the busyness of this weekend. My name is Chris Dawes in the commentary box, and we've got Josh Barrett up here as well. This is the third race of the weekend for the Radical SR1s, and it is the final race of the 2024 season, and this one is going down to the wire. It's absolutely incredible between Marcus Littlewood and Sam Shaw. It is so close between these two that it all counts on this one. The grid with that reversed element is as follows. On pole position, 78, Ashley Gaunt, 16, Sam Shaw. Second row, number 11, Marcus Littlewood, 41, Bradley Gaunt. And then on the third and final row, it is 888 Matt Hammond and 26 Ollie Denning. Obviously, normally we mix the SR3s and the SR1s together, but with the championship on the line, Josh, it made sense to get them separate so that nobody interferes with the other championship.
That's right, so it means we can focus in this race all on this Radical SR1 Cup Championship deciding race, the 18th round of the season. And just 4 points, we think, separate the two championship contenders. Marcus Littlewood, who won the second race yesterday, starts third today, I believe, is on 931 points. Sam Shaw, who will be starting on the front row, he won the first race yesterday. He's on 927 points, so there's 4 points between them. And there are 10 points difference between finishing first and second, and 10 points difference between finishing second and third. So really, unless something big bizarre happens, it's all about who finishes ahead between Marcus Littlewood and Sam Shaw in the ultimate championship deciding round. There's lots of interest from Radical UK in who is going to win this championship, because it's very rare to have it all on the line in the last race, whoever finishes in front in any British Motorsport Championship. So yeah, it's all about the next 20 minutes, Chris.
It really is, and the safety car brings the field to heel. It is, of course, a rolling start, and we will be coming round to the start any second now.
So here they come then, round clearways for round 18 of the Hagerty Radical SR1 Cup. It's a 20-minute race around the 1.2079 mile Brands Hatch Indy circuit. On pole position is Ashley Gaunt. He set the third fastest lap in the race yesterday, so the top three are reversed. That means Sam Shaw is alongside him. He's the other championship contender with Marcus Littlewood. He starts third, Chris.
Yep, here we go. That's that extra spice that's been added. The lights go out, the field scream up, and we're going 3 wide down towards the first corner, and it's Littlewood is going for it at the start. We wondered how they were going to play this one out. What a fantastic move. He's got to be pleased with that one, but he's now under the pressure heading up towards Druids. He's made sure the gap isn't there, and understandably, Shaw was trying desperately to find a way to do it.
There's a bit of touching going on through Druids, but Littlewood's held on. He's still ahead of Sam Shaw, but yeah, an mighty start from Marcus Littlewood. He knew it was so important to make a good start, and as soon as the lights went out, he dived up the inside into Paddock Hill Bend and he's ahead. He was really quick yesterday. When he got ahead of Sam Shaw, he was able to pull away. They turn their way into clearways. He's wide though, and Sam Shaw dives up the inside. They're side by side on the flat curve, and Littlewood is sliding into the gravel pit and he's dropping down the order.
He's not happy. He was waving his hands there. I can't see whether there was at the start there was a little bit of contact, but that sent him pirouetting down to 4th position. He's still going. He's got to get rid of that red mist now, hasn't he? Because he's going to be fuming after the fantastic work he did off of the start, and he needs to pick his way through. The first of those is Bradley Gaunt, and he's up the inside. He's up into 3rd position. Next up is going to be the 76 car of Ashley Gaunt, who in fairness is putting some huge pressure on Sam Shaw. This is what happens when it comes down to this final round, and as simple as the one that finishes in front of the other is going to win the championship here. They're not going to be playing politics and carefulness here. It is going to be all on the line, isn't it?
Yeah, that's absolutely right, and it was shown on that first lap. We had nothing more overtaken on that first lap than we saw of interstate races, so it is, as you say, absolutely on the line. Shaw is now trying to get away while Marcus Littlewood is challenging Ashley Gaunt for second. We know, though, from yesterday how quick Littlewood is around this Brands Hatch Indy circuit. He got pole position yesterday, got the fastest laps in both of the races, but Shaw was able to get in front in race 1, and Littlewood never was able to get past. A big battle, though, for 4th position as Ollie Denning has a look up on the inside of 41. Bradley Gaunt can't go through. Behind them, Matt Hammond. If he finishes this race, is on course to win the Rookie Cup title for the 2024 season.
Yeah, that one's a bit more understandable. He's kind of keeping himself out of trouble to finish. And we've got Littlewood now looking up the inside at Surtees. That would have been difficult. That's quite a narrow funnel through that section, but he's trying desperately to get past Ashley Gaunt. But the 78 car of Gaunt not giving him that opportunity and just slammed the door shut, as he's perfectly entitled to do. So on to the start-finish straight to complete the third lap. It is desperately frustrating. Now he's looking up the inside as we get to Paddock Hill Bend. He's throwing it up, and again, that's slowly disappearing, but he's holding it. He's still going to have the inside line as we get up towards the Druids hairpin. Surely signed, sealed. Yep, it is. It's delivered. So up into second place he goes. The frustration for him is that he can see it's over a second now before he gets onto the back of Shaw.
That's right. Might even be 2 seconds just having to make that move on the race leader. He was, 1.4 behind at the line. Probably lost a bit of paddock trying to make that move, but it was so important to do that. Yesterday he pulled out a 4-5 second gap over Sam Shaw, so potentially Marcus Littlewood has got the pace, he's got the time. There are 17 minutes to go. We got something like 25 laps in the races yesterday, so it should be similar to that. So it's 16, Sam Shaw up across the line in his first season of car racing. There's a 48.5. Even making that move into paddock, Marcus Littlewood pretty much equals that lap time. To the next lap, we'll see how quick Littlewood is and whether he is on course to catch Sam Shaw.
Oh, no, I thought that was Shaw into the kitty litter, but just as I looked out the window, but it wasn't. I think that was Bradley Gaunt, wasn't it, that just tipped into the gravel slightly, kept the foot in and did well, but it meant that Denning, 26, is up into 4th place now, so it was a good move, opportunist move. One of the things I was going to say is that what we did see yesterday is that Littlewood was the quicker round this circuit. He clearly loves the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. What was difficult in race number 1 is that he was running in second to Shaw then, all over the back of it, but just could not find an opportunity to make a move, and was probably keeping his powder dry to some extent. Race number 1, where he got into the lead from the start, he was able to stretch his legs, and he's been on pole position for both of the race, and in effect the quickest for this one, but with the reverse had to start in 3rd. So he needs to just keep that in his mind, but Shaw has to keep in his mind that position can be king around this Indy circuit.
That's right. Littlewood 2 tenths quicker, Chris, 48.169, so he's immediately brought that gap down to 1.2 seconds. So at that rate, he will catch Sam Shaw, and there'll be a lot of laps left to try and find a way through. So this is certainly not over yet. He may have had that trip through the gravel, and now he's had a little bit of idea actually how to overtake people around here as well, because he's had to overtake a couple of cars. I suspect Sam Shaw might put up a bit more of a fight than the other two did, so it'll be much more difficult to take the lead over Sam Shaw and the championship lead. 1.2 seconds become 1.1. It only comes down by 700ths that time. A better lap from Sam Shaw. So at that rate, it's going to take a little bit longer for Marcus Littlewood to catch the leader.
And so remind me, who's in the lead of the championship standings before this race started?
That is Littlewood by 4 points.
Fine. There's an interesting one. That means that if Littlewood can make a Dan-Dare lunge and know that if he inadvertently takes both of them off, that he still can win this championship, whereas Shaw knows absolutely he has to finish. But the interesting one, if he finishes second, it's not enough for him. So we're going to get them up close and personal. We've seen that they're prepared to take the gloves off both of them because they literally have no choice. There is no safe option available for them. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's so it happens
for us.
It happens so rarely, but it's great to watch. Another 10th brought back, so the gap is now 1.06 seconds. So the chase continues every lap since Littlewood's been in second. He's been quicker than the leader, Sam Shaw. On that lap, he caught by 0.12 of a second. There are 14 minutes on the clock. We've done 7 laps. The leaders turn their way into Graham Hill Bend, and visibly you can see that gap is just getting a bit smaller from where it was when they started. And the pace of these two, absolutely mighty. They're a second fast than anybody else. They're pulling well clear, so it is absolutely a battle just between the two of them.
Well, we often say, even if there's a grid that's a little bit lower on numbers than we're maybe used to seeing, is it only takes 2 to make a race, and it's being proven absolutely wonderfully here, isn't it, that these two, even with a second gap, is that you're just there watching this battle commence. Another new fastest lap of the race, 47.949, which means we're now under that 1 second. They've got DRS, haven't they? Littlewood wishes, doesn't he?
Yes, yeah, that's one thing that Sam Shaw hasn't got to worry about. The slipstream, though, that might come into effect when they get a bit closer to one another. But they turn their way through Graham Hill Bend this season. Sam Shaw has had 7 victories now after winning yesterday. He's had 4 third positions and 4 second positions rather, and 4 third positions. Marcus Littlewood has had 3 wins. He's had 7 second places and 4 third positions. So Shaw's had a few more overall victories, but Littlewood regularly being on the podium as well. They come up across the line. The gap from 0.92 of a second after 8 laps becomes 0.61 of a second. It's the biggest reduction in the gap we've seen all race, and he takes a tighter line through paddock. Marcus Littlewood as well, so that should eke him a little bit closer. He's into the 47s, and now he's almost in attacking distance with 2/3 of the race still to go.
Incredible. I mean, he is now putting a lap time quicker than he did to determine his grid position for today, so he is absolutely on fire. He's putting qualifying lap in after qualifying lap in reality, and you can see it, just that little eke in, time after time. Shaw's got to make sure that he's not looking too much in his mirrors, because we saw it several times in other races that it's very easy to miss that braking point because you're looking too long in your mirror, and that's when he's able to pounce. Now this, I suspect, is what Littlewood's going to spend a little while doing, is trying to force Shaw into a mistake without actually making the lunge yet, because we've still got 11 3/4 minutes to go, Josh. He doesn't need to make the damn dare lunge just yet, but see if he can put enough pressure that Shaw just makes that little mistake that he can capitalise on.
You can see from the graphic on the live streaming pictures the gap coming down between Sam Shaw and Marcus Littlewood. It's been 10th by 10th generally over the last few laps, but this particular lap, Sam Shaw has seemingly kept Marcus Littlewood at bay. Is that just Littlewood seeing where Shaw is strong and where he, hopefully for Littlewood, is weaker than him, and where that challenge can come? We know the Brands Hatch Indy circuit in sports prototype cars like this is not the easiest track to pass on because the braking zones are so small in these cars. But so was that a better lap from Shaw or a weaker lap from Littlewood? It was really weaker from Littlewood, wasn't it? He dropped back into the 48s. But as you say, Chris, it might just be just seeing where that move might come a bit later on in the race.
Yeah, unlike race 1 yesterday where he did this in a position and didn't really take a risk, he knows full well he's going to have to. Shaw knows he's going to, that will happen. I mean, imagine the adrenaline that these two must be going for. This is a whole season. The whole year comes down to this very race, comes down to the next 10.5 minutes that one of them is going to be champion, the other is not. And I just cannot even begin to fathom what the adrenaline, what the emotions must be like in there. They cannot make a single mistake. They've got to be absolutely on rails in these Radical SR1 cars. And Littlewood has got a cracking run down the straight towards Paddock Hill. But do you notice he didn't throw it towards the inside? He's just trying to take the speed through these corners as much as he possibly can. Back into the 47s he goes again. And it's just incredible. The other hard thing I will point out for Sam Shaw is that when you're in the lead, you haven't got that frame of reference. The chasing car's always got a frame of reference of the car in front, sorry. But Sam's just doing a fabulous job here of just keeping those racing lines bob on. Fine Littlewood closing on him. Now he's closed on him, he just needs to make sure that he's not leaving an opportunity for Littlewood to throw it up the inside.
It seemed to have got to that bit where he's about 3/10 of a second away and hit a wall where he can't get any closer and get right underneath the rear wing to challenge. We know in these aero cars you get a little bit of aero wash, so it does induce a little bit of understeer. Although, through Paddock Hill Bend, it looked more like oversteer that Marcus Littlewood's getting. He chucked the car into Paddock Hill Bend, the back end came out, he had to fight the car through the corner, which he did really well. He didn't lose any time because of it, but he's now really starting to think, actually, where can I make a move on Sam Shaw? Because I might be quicker than him, but I'm not actually that much faster that seemingly a move is going to come with ease.
Oh, it's just incredible watching this, isn't it? And I'm going to pick up on a comment you made yesterday that really resonated with me, Josh, is that every time they come round, there is only 48 seconds being taken off of the time on the gantry overlooking them of this 20-minute race. And it just, for sure, it will just be, surely it should have gone down more than that this time, but it is just not even a full minute coming off that clock every time they come round.
Yeah, the shortest lap on the calendar, a long way, really, for the Radical SR1 Cup, because they've been to the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, they've been to Snetterton laps, which are in the 2-minute brackets. It's that much of a shorter lap round here. So that means around this, really the 5 real corners around Brands Hatch, when you're only separated by a tenth or so, such small margins make those differences around this circuit. And on the last few laps, you can see those lap times have been pretty even, going one way and the other. They're so close now, the lap times don't matter. It's whether Marcus Littlewood can get close enough to challenge. And over the last 4 or 5 laps, Chris, it just seems he can't.
Agreed, it does. Either he genuinely can't, or he's just playing a game of poker at the moment. He certainly was wiggling under the brakes as he went into Paddock Hill Bend there. And because as soon as he puts himself in the lead, then he's the one that loses the frame of reference, and there's the one that's got the target on the back. So is he just waiting for that opportune moment? With 7.5 minutes still to go, Josh, we're not even at three-quarter race distance yet.
No, that's right. So, yeah, so many laps to go around here. So it might just be making sure you look after the slick racing tyres, make sure you've got something to give later on. Because what Marcus Littlewood doesn't want to do is get in front and then allow Sam Shaw to have another go. Because we saw that at the start of the race. Exactly. Marcus Littlewood got in front, he got very close a couple of times, and he ran out wide into the gravel. He doesn't want that to happen again. Across the line they go. There's that 1/3 of a second or so, as there has been so many times lately. The gap between the two of them. They take, if you would expect, such similar lines through Paddock. A little jinx from Littlewood, just over Sam Shaw noses there, but Sam, he's happy with his braking points. He turns in where he has done every other lap. He hasn't really felt the need to defend. He's out over the curb. If you turn into Graham Hill Bend, so easily that can go wrong. If you go a little bit too far, you're on the dust, and then you're not going to have the grip if you turn in. But Sam Shaw, who's been so successful over the course of this season, happy to do that.
Yeah, that was interesting for a minute, is that we both kind of pulled a face of wondering whether that was going to come unsettled, but it didn't. There we go, just drifting round. Is a little bit further back. Who's that one?
That's the Gordon Hammond.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
They're only about a second between them.
I just wanted to make sure, because it confused me for a second that it looked similar. Is that a different colour scheme to what we had with him yesterday? But am I imagining it? But
there's 3 cars that look quite similar to Sam Shaw's, aren't they? The 2 Gaunt cars are fairly similar to Sam Shaw's, and they are the 3 cars that lead the battles, aren't they? The 3 cars that do have a similarity between them. There's Matt Hammond, though, who is on course to win the Rookie Championship, we think. Lexi Belk, who came into the weekend, racing elsewhere this weekend, which has allowed Matt Hammond to race safely this weekend to wrap up that rookie division, perhaps with ambitions to continue into the next season and go for that overall Pro Championship. Meanwhile, it's all about who's going to be the Pro Champion in 2024 as the cars turn into Paddock Hill Bend.
Well, here they come. So, and a big wiggle there from Littlewood in second. He just lost the front end through Paddock Hill Bend, kept it nicely under control and didn't go into the kitty litter, but that did cost him some time there. He's over half a second back as he crossed the line, and that's probably cost him a little bit more there. And I'm not sure whether that was dirty air or just that tiny little mistake, but it shows that's all it takes to drop back or be challenged if you're the car in front that makes that tiny little mistake. But here they come, round clearways in towards Clark Curve and onto the Brabham Straights to complete what will be their 19th lap with 4 minutes 40 left to go. And across the line, so Littlewood now finds himself 3/4 of a second further back. And we dropping down the hill. That was a lot tidier there from Littlewood. Can you remember how many laps they did yesterday? I've got 27 in my head for some reason, but we covered quite a few races over the course of the day, didn't we?
I think that was the SR3s. The SR1 to do 25.
25 laps, okay. And we've done 19 so far. So if it stays the same, we're looking at 5.5 more laps to go for this, the 2024 SR1 Championship. Comes down to this.
Yeah, and it's sort of just been at this point where you think something's going to happen, but nothing actually has. Is it all going to be that last lap? You can think of so many championship deciders over the years, which have come down to the last lap, the last corner even, and particularly in recent years, Brands Hatch has been that place where things have happened, particularly with the British Touring Car Championship having their championship decider here at this venue over the last decade or so. And actually that lot's coming up over the next few weeks here at Brands Hatch with the British GT Championship, the British Touring Car Championship and the British Superbike Championship on consecutive weekends having the championship deciders. But we start with this Radical SR1 Cup Championship decider today between Sam Shaw and Marcus Littlewood with 4 laps to go at the end of this. Shaw took a wider line through clearways, but then carries the momentum through the corner into Clark Curve and down the Brabham Straight to complete 21 laps with 3 minutes on the clock, 4 laps we think to go, 0.6 of a second the gap.
I'm really impressed with Shaw. I mean, he is not putting a foot wrong, is he? We may see that Littlewood has got that little bit extra speed around the lap, but as we said, once he's there, there's not a lot he can do about it, and Shaw just is not making a mistake. Littlewood's desperately hoping he's going to just step out of line somewhere, but he is not, despite this relentless pressure. Oh, we've got a spin coming out of Paddock Hill Bend and into the gravel. That's not good news, because that's probably going to be a safety car. I think that was Ashley Gaunt, isn't it?
Yes, from third place. He was under pressure from Ollie Daggin, and with 2.5 minutes to go, safety car means there may not be much more racing to go, and that is absolutely not what Marcus Littlewood wants to see as he arrives at Paddock Hill Bend. Yeah,
they're coming across the start-finish line, and he's going to come into this yellow flag zone, and I think Littlewood's heart's just going to absolutely plummet at this stage as they go past that stricken car. There they go. Littlewood would have seen that, and I think he's just going to know in his heart of hearts that is the end of the opportunity. They might leave it there with it being a decider, but quite often it can be a safety car. They're saying car in gravel at Paddock, so they're letting this one fight. So Littlewood has got the opportunity. What did you say, 24 or 25 laps?
25.
25, so 2.5 laps left to go. Littlewood is looking up the inside as he comes out of McLaren's in towards Clearways. Into Clark Curve he goes. It wasn't the opportunity there.
He just feels really racy now, doesn't he? He realises the race might finish any time.
He is all over the back of him. That margin has evaporated somewhat into a yellow flag zone. He can't do anything here, but he can certainly close up and carry the speed through the apex and up the hill towards the Druids hairpin. He looked really strong heading into this hairpin on lap 1. Not able to make the move there, and he's rapidly running out of time. Shaw was probably hoping the other way, going, please let that be a safety car. His heart will have dropped that it hasn't been a safety car, and he is going down the Cooper Straight for what we think is going to be the penultimate time. Is this? They get past the back marker. Great job there from Hammond to just move out of the way, but again, he's really quick through that section, isn't he, Littlewood?
Could come down to the last corner of the season. There's 1 lap to go in the 2024 Hagerty Radical SR1 Cup. Sam Shaw, if he stays ahead, will be the champion. Marcus Littlewood, if he gets past Sam Shaw, will be the champion. They turn into the yellow flag zone. They should be slowing down to an appropriate speed for this zone of the circuit. They climb up the hill, up in towards Druids. Marcus Littlewood needs to get close enough to see if he can have a go at Clearways, where we know he is so strong.
He is. Down the hill we come towards Graham Hill Bend, the left-hander onto the Cooper Straight. Another very wide entry there for Shaw that carries him nice and quickly onto that shoot down towards the left-hand Surtees. This is where Littlewood has been strong. Is he going to do it? I don't think he's close enough this time. He's not looking up the inside, but is he waiting to do it a little bit later? The karting move, drop back, take the speed through. I don't think he is. I think Simon Shaw's going to be bringing this round to the start-finish straight, and he's going to become the 2024 SR1 Cup Championship provisionally, we have to say, officially. And he is punching the air, and Littlewood looks sideways as he goes past him a little bit. Shaw, I mean, what a welcome to motor racing for that person.
Yeah, that is win number 8 of the season in the Radical SR1 Cup for Sam Shaw. And I think his reaction agrees with our thinking of the 2024 title going the way of Sam Shaw. It's been such a close battle over the course of the season between the two drivers, particularly this weekend here at Brands Hatch, and it was a nose-to-tail battle throughout the duration there. And congratulations to Sam Shaw for holding off. And how much is Marcus Littlewood going to be ruining that mistake at Clearways, where he ran a little wide, allowed Sam Shaw alongside, and then something happened. Then he ended up in the gravel trap, but he fought back really well, but just couldn't find a way past.
He is going to be, that's going to haunt him for a while, I think, isn't it, that one? Because if he'd have kept in the lead, we saw it in race number 2 yesterday, where he was able to then just sort of stretch his legs and pull away at will. But there is your race winner, and by our calculations, the 2024 SR1 Cup champion, provisionally. We always have to say that to caveat that. But what an incredible race that was. I mean, I don't know about them with their adrenaline. I was feeling it here in the commentary box. It was just epic. It really was, especially that opening lap. But Shaw just took that pressure like a prize fighter and was not going down, was he?
Yeah, with no mistakes were there from Sam Shaw. He wasn't running out wide, he wasn't locking up, he wasn't out braking himself, he just took his lines. He never really defended either, did he, to lose lap time? But let's have a look at the results of the final round, Chris.
Yep, so the victory goes the way of number 16, Sam Shaw. Second place, car number 11, Marcus Littlewood. Andy got the fastest lap, 47.838. Third place, great job there for the number 26 car of Ollie Denning. Started at the back, finishes in third place. Fourth is number 41, Bradley Gaughan. 888 Matt Hammond comes home and we think is the rookie champion in the SR1s as well for 2024. And then sadly in the gravel we lost the number 78 car of Ashley Gaunt. So that is the final results for the Radical SR1 Cup, the Hagerty Radical SR1 Cup. Absolutely incredible. You can see that the sun's beaming. You can see that the blue ovals are in full effect throughout this circuit today for Ford Power Live. The good news for everybody on the stream, we're going to be back a little bit later for the Radical SR3 Cup, that the overall champion has been decided, but the Fangio Cup is very, very much alive, so make sure you're back for that one. It's going to be incredible. From us at Brands Hatch on this live stream, we'll catch you a little bit later.